Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's vlog is going to be about this Audi S3 which is behind me. We tuned this car about a year ago running our PE Stage 2 ECU and TCU Tune. It did some really good numbers. It did 405 horsepower, so really respectable numbers for Stage 2. And now the owner's added some more hardware, so we've got an upgraded turbo, fuel pump and water meth and a 4x-map sensor. So it's in for our Stage 3 ECU tune. So we just thought we'd take you through the day and show you what the car produces. But it's a really nice looking car. The S3 in the red is quite rare. I quite like how it sits as well. The only thing which is left to do once we've finished with today is the upgraded braking system. And then there'll be one nicely set up S3. But yeah, we've got to go and put on a dyno, do some logs, and we'll show you what it does. So, a lot of people always ask, how do I dyno four-wheel drive cars on a two-wheel drive dyno? And it's pretty simple, so I'll show you why we've got one in. Haldex cars are predominantly front-wheel drive anyway. They only send power to the rears when the front start to lose traction. So even though it's four-wheel drive, it's predominantly a front-wheel drive car, but in order to get the Haldex cars into front-wheel drive only, you've got the Haldex controller here. I've already disconnected it. We've got the big main harness here. Once this is disconnected, no power gets sent to the rear drive. So you can run it in front wheel drive mode only, which is perfectly fine to dyno the car. And then on the latest MQB cars as well, they also have a dyno mode as well. So we've got an enable app from inside the car. And what this does, it disables all the safety features such as the ABS system, so we can run the car up at any speed without any issues. So yeah, I'll show you how to do that. So last step before we start dyno testing this S3 is to enable dyno mode. Pretty simple to do. So ignition on, wait until all the lights go out. We'll get a couple of faults due to the Haldex module being disconnected, and then hazards on. 5 stabs of the throttle, and then the tyre pressure light will come on, ABS will come on, and then we're in dyno mode. Right, the S3 has all been set up on the dyno, ready to start some testing. We've had this S3 in for the past few days now, and done quite a lot of testing on it, data logging, quite a few fob revisions, and now we're at the final stages where I'm personally happy to give the car back to the customer. It's running some really nice figures. Lovely smooth power and torque curve, and the boost is lovely in control, which on these is very important because reliability much over 500 horsepower personally I think is quite hampered. But yes, we've got the dyno all set up. Got a dyno all set up here, VCDS all set up for what we're logging on this particular dyno run. So yeah, we'll do that. So we're all set up now. Let's just get a quick run. This thing, when it comes on boost, it does absolutely wreck when you hear it now. So let's get it into fifth gear, which is a gear which we're going to dyno this particular car in. There we go. So coming on boost now. Lovely. As soon as this car comes on boost, it really does rip. So, finished the tuning on this S3 and the final numbers are 500 horsepower and 557 Newton meters, which was near enough exactly where we was aiming to be. High 400s, early 500s, so pretty spot on. The data looks all good from the data logs, everything is all happy, everything's in control and nice and safe. And these numbers are without water meth, so if you turn the meth on, we probably get another 20-30 horsepower once we did a few far variations. But overall really happy, and it's at a zone where for these cars they stay nice and reliable. When people start running them at kind of like the high 550 horsepower mark, which is capable of doing, I think you're just really pushing reliability. But if we have a look here, just look how smooth these power curve and torque curves are. Look at that, lovely and linear all the way to red line, and then we've got a lovely flat torque curve. It's coming on boost at around about 3,500 RPM all the way to red line. Looks absolutely lovely, I'm really happy with that. And if you just compare it to stock, you've got a lovely flat torque curve, pretty similar linear power curve, and it just plateaus at top, but up top you're talking around about 175 horsepower increase. So really happy with that. So just wanted to quickly show you this because still get quite a few people who believe the higher the horsepower and torque number, the better the tune, which is never the case. I always stand by just giving nice drivability with nice smooth power curve and torque curve will give you a nice quick car on the road. And if you have a look here, the red line, this is your power curve, that's your torque curve. The red line was a very early software revision which we did, and it was running nicely here, and then when it gets to around about 5,500 RPM, the boost just started to surge, it wasn't in control. So if you see here, it just surges here up to the 510 horsepower number, and then it drops back down quite quickly. It only lasts for around about 1,000 RPM, but at this point it gives you a nicer, in terms of a higher number, power and torque curve, but on the road this will not drive nice. So after we spent a bit of time with boost control, making sure everything was nice and smooth, that's why we ended up with this nice linear power curve and lovely flat torque curve. So the numbers, the larger number isn't always the better tune. This car is going to be really quick on the road, brilliant drivability. And one more thing I want to show you, I'm quite big on boost control. If you look on here, no overshoot when the car comes on boost, and as the revs climb up, so does the boost. So that's what makes this car drive really nice throughout the whole of the rev range. So really happy with that. But only a quick vlog, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one.